This tutorial is going to run over how to create a page for your portfolio in Illustrator. So we have chosen to create a page in our portfolio that covers up this checkpoint 1 page, and that's going to allow you to practice some Illustrator techniques. So just like in Photoshop, we're going to File, New, and we're going to go to our title, name it checkpoint 1 so you remember what it's for. We're going to use inches, just like we did in Photoshop. Because we all speak inches better, 12 by 9 inches is the dimensions of that page. You're going to start by clicking the text tool and clicking once. Don't drag, just click once and type the word checkpoint 1. If you want to do numeral, that's fine, or spell it out. Go to the black selection arrow, hold down Shift, and make this a whole lot bigger. Now, the default font is Myriad Pro. And Myriad Pro is set to be a certain height and width. If you start doing this kind of thing, you're going to ruin that dimension. Luckily for you in Illustrator, you can Control Z multiple times to get back to where you started. So hold down Shift, and then in your Properties palette, you should see your characters. If you click and highlight Myriad Pro and roll through the mouse, you can get different typefaces. Choose a typeface that is easy to look at, strong, easy to read, doesn't have too much personality, so avoid the Comic Sans and the Joker Mans. Just kind of look through these nice simple typefaces. And I want you to click on the T tool again and click once again and type artwork. This checkpoint slide is telling everybody, hey, this is checkpoint 1, and includes some artwork. It's probably not going to be as big as checkpoint 1 because it's not as important as checkpoint 1, and you can change the font to something that also is maybe a little bit thinner, a little bit less intense, so it sort of serves as like a subtitle. Hold down Alt, click off of that. Gotta make sure it copies. Alt, click, drag, there we go. Double click and highlight the word to change the word to the word reflection. So that's a situation where you would highlight. Otherwise, all you have to do is click on the word and you can change things. So right now, we're going to pause. If you have not yet gone into Creative Cloud and signed in, do that. When you do sign in, you should see some images. Yours looks a little different from mine, but you should see options here and a circle with your name here. That's going to allow you to go into Adobe Color, and in Adobe Color, we use this to play with the color wheel. In Adobe Color, now you can create your own color palettes. And you can create it on the wheel, as we learned how to do in class. You can use any harmonies you want or custom. You can explore other people's images. When you find one you like, use that. You could also bring in an image from your Google Drive. For example, when we made our first portfolio cover, we brought in images, and so maybe you want to bring in an image that you used in your portfolio cover so that you can create like a cohesive color palette. Either way, whenever you find one you like, you're going to hit this Save Color Themes. And see, there we go. Make sure you're signed in. If it asks you some questions, do that. I'm going to ignore this for now because that's going to take too long. Shouldn't happen for you. That's just I have a different login. So once you've got your themes over in Adobe Color, you should be able to go over here to Libraries, and your themes will load in automatically. And if that doesn't happen, make sure again in Adobe Color you're signed in, in Creative Cloud you're signed in. What I'm looking for you is to limit yourself to one color scheme, so across horizontally. Even though you've got bunches of them here, just limit yourself to one. So you can spend some time kind of playing. Just click on the letters and click on the colors and seeing what kind of combo you like. Now that's not very much that you can do without more on your page. So when you go to the rectangle tool here, you can create a color for your background by dragging a box. Remember that box is in front of everything. So right-click, Arrange, Send to Back. Can't read our subtitles because it's the same color, so you can play with different colors. I'm going to move kind of quickly. Of course, you can spend lots of time making this all perfect in the way that you want it. But what we're going to do here is move on to a couple of the things that you can do. Like, for example, you can use the rectangle tool again, and you can make some designs or patterns. So maybe you want to create some boxes or some stripes. And those can look however you want them to. As thick or as thin as you want, any colors that you want. You also can make those boxes transparent. So over in Properties, you have your fill and your stroke and your opacity, so you can make it a little bit see-through if you'd like to make it see-through. And this box could be something that you use for your title to make your title stand out more. Let me mess around with the color here. Remember, you can order and arrange, right-click Arrange, to bring one thing to the front or back. You could use like the numeral 1 as a design element. So you could find a good looking one that maybe you want to use for something. Maybe it's like a focal point, maybe put a circle around it. Pretty much your choice, but what I'm going to show you how to do is make a pattern out of it. So we use some boxes. Don't forget you can use circles as well. But let's talk about making a pattern for your background. So I'm going to take this one and move it off to the side, and I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to make it kind of small. So I'm thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if my background had a pattern of ones back here? With it selected, whatever it is, it could be like a little triangle. So use your use your star tool. It could be a little triangle. It could be anything you want, but you make the thing and you make it the size you want it to be for the pattern. You'll see what I mean by that in just a second. You select the thing. Let's go with the 1. You go to Object, Pattern, Make. Click OK. What it's telling you is this pattern is going to appear in your swatch panel when you're done with it. And everything's disappeared to show you what it would look like as a preview right now. So you have some options that you can use. First of all, you can have a different layout, bricks and hex. You can click on your 1, and you could even change the color here if you wanted to. You can flip it so that it's a stroke only if you wanted to. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can stretch it. So you can play with the vector. You can even add more to it if you want. You can also go here, which gives you more space in between the letters or overlapping the letters. So that's kind of something that you're playing with. But basically, whatever you're getting in the preview is what you are going to get in your pattern. So imagine this filling up the back of your page. So we're going to hit Done when you're done. And everything disappears, but right there you have a swatch with that pattern. So what I would recommend you do is take your rectangle tool, and you can drag across the entire design or part of the design and fill it with that pattern. Now it's in front, right? It's in front of everything. So what I'm going to do is right-click, Arrange, Send to Back, and then I'm going to click on my big box and right-click, Arrange, Send to Back. So basically I've put the order being the blue box and then the box of 1s and then all of my text. Now it's kind of getting a little hard to read, so I'm going to lower opacity and kind of play with that. I'm not sure I love it, but you get the idea of what you can do. You can make that pattern out of shapes, boxes, anything you want. You don't have to use a pattern. Bare minimum for your checkpoint page, you've got colors happening from your libraries. You've got words checkpoint 1, artwork reflection. Nothing's in Myriad Pro and nothing is left white or black. And when you're done with that, you're going to save it as your Illustrator file, of course, in case you want to go back and change it. Just get to my folder. So save it as an Illustrator file. And then to apply it into your portfolio, you File, Export, Export As. You're going to save it as a JPEG, and you always click Use Artboards. If you don't, all this stuff beyond this black line will be added into the JPEG. We don't want that. So hit Export. In this slide, you might want to change your resolution to high to make it a little bit stronger. And you could also play with color model. RGB is the monitor color. It might look a little different, but it could be clearer. And then back on your portfolio, you're going to go to this slide and hit Background and choose that image and apply it. And you're good to go. And you can take all these guys and make them go away. So that's the video for how to make that new checkpoint slide. That's what I'd like you to try to work on. You can always see me in class tomorrow for more.